I always have to go in 1.5 speed, don't I, when I'm going to do this stuff. Hi there again, BookTube. Leanne here, and welcome back to another video. So today I feel like I want to record me reacting to a old book haul that I did back in 2015, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, July 2015, so exactly, 6 years ago, I think? So I thought I'd film my reaction to young me back when I was at university. And see what I bought first. This is me at my dad's house. It might have been. Oh, this is just after I'd left university, so I started building my book collection at my dad's house. So this is me reacting to the books that I bought back then and see if I still have them and if I've read them and all that kind of stuff. So let's get in on that. Let me just get my screen recording on. I will be facing this way because that's where my laptop is, but I'll try and angle this way so you can see me.
Hello everybody, Lola here, and today I am going to do a book haul because in June I went absolutely crazy, as I said in the previous video. This is the amount of books I've got, if I can pick them up.
Oh yeah, I used to call myself Lola on BookTube. It's a nickname an old friend gave me.
And if you can see them all right there, and I will be
They
going
all look
through
very
them
familiar.
with you today to basically say what the kind of things I enjoy reading, which basically here these are the kinds of things I like, and basically to give you a bit of understanding of who I am, what I like to read, what authors I like as well, because there's some Terry Pratchett, some Neil Gaiman here, and I've not long gone into Terry Pratchett, but I read Good Omens a long time ago and I loved it. So after that I just had to buy Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett's books. And I read Stardust too, which got me even more into Neil Gaiman. So yeah, let's get started. So I've already read The Colour of Magic, and I really did like it actually. A lot of people say that as
I'm not even
first
holding
book.
the book up. Normally I would hold the book up now, but I'm just talking about it.
Word is good, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. It didn't take a long read, and now I'm going to read The Light Fantastic by Terry Pratchett because it looks really good. I mean, even the cover's really detailed, and
Yeah, I read them back then and I'm saying they're good, but I didn't actually like them that much. I think it's because I've recently read um, Equal Rights and Mort, and I love them so much more. So those two first books are nothing in comparison. Oh well.
really cool, like Terry Pratchett likes to do his books. And I just like Discworld, it's just so good. So there's my first book that I've bought last month. Also, before I continue, sorry about my voice, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment and it's a
Same.
bit groggy and I feel a bit icky, so just ignore that and continue watching. The next books I bought two at once because I've heard so much about them on YouTube, is The Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas.
I hadn't even heard of
And
Sarah J. Maas properly back then. I had to look at the cover to see who it was by. Yeah, I've read all them.
The Crown of Night, which is the second
So I had the first
part
two.
of the books. I've not read them yet, but I see that they're about assassins and about a fantastical kind of world, and that she has to make a few decisions. She's young, she's only 18, and they look so good. I mean, YouTube has told me a lot about them. I've looked on Goodreads, I've looked on the internet, and I saw them in Waterstones. I just had to buy them. I love books about assassins, and they just, yeah, I like the look of them.
I do
Now,
still
the
like
next
books about assassins.
book is something that I don't think I'd normally read, and that is The Selection by Kira Cass. And that's because it's set in this
That's
world,
because I didn't
and
like that book one bit. It was awful. I got rid of that as soon as I read it.
I normally like books and set in another world and a fantastical world. But this actually drew me in because it's about well, it's basically about a selection.
Yeah.
And about love and jewels and riches.
Not my
and
thing.
it just seems quite different to the other books that are like this. So that drew me in. I'll have to tell you about it at some other point because I'm not exactly certain what it's about. And I know it's about a palace and royalty and rivals.
That's a book I probably should have looked into more back then, because I wouldn't have picked it up if I knew more about it.
And it actually really drew me in when I heard about it, and there's a lot of people reading it at the moment, so I'll have to get back to you on that because I'm not certain about it, but it's like a real world fairy tale or something. Like I said, I'll have to get back to you on it because I'm still not certain if I like it or not. Let's just see if it draws me in properly. The next book is by Mark Lawrence and it's called The Prince of Fools. Now I've already read The Prince of Thorns and
I still haven't read Prince of Fools. I started it a while ago and DNF'd it for a while. I'll have to get back to it at some point, but yeah, I still haven't read that.
loved it so much. The main character is quite horrible and he was hard to follow, but it was just such a good book because I'm not used to reading something where you're not supposed to like the main character. And
was that my phone? I don't know what that was.
Mark Lawrence really makes it work, so I'm quite interested to see what The Prince of Fools is like. I mean, I also need to buy the other Prince of Thorns books. Can't quite remember what they're called. I think it's Emperor of Thorns and King of Thorns or something like that. Maybe the other way around. But his first book was so good, and I just need to keep on reading them. So, like I said, I'll also let you know what I think about this. But I can see me really.
Can I just mention how like nice half of my background is compared to like a horrible fabric wardrobe on the other side? Oh no, that's so ugly. Also, the Charmed collection in the background.
The next book I want to read and that I've bought is called The Sin Eater's Daughter. And this looks really interesting. It's by Melinda Salisbury. And it's about a girl who's basically a weapon and her touch can kill. Basically like in the X-Men. But
there seems to be a thing in a lot of books recently I found, is that the touch can kill people. I liked this book, but I continued the series and it didn't really hold me, so I got rid of it all. So I don't have those anymore. But I did read them. I'm doing quite well so far, actually. What am I doing?
I assume. And she actually has to marry into royalty. And it seems like she's going to have some problems with that because she's going to be dangerous at court and everything's going to be revealed in it. And look at that cover, look at it. It's just so pretty.
It's pretty for one that's got a personal cover.
But yeah, that looks really good. And I read the blurb and it just looks so good. The Sin Eater's Daughter. So good, I want to read it. Now, I really did like The Hunger Games, and it didn't take me long reading them, even though I was at university at the time. And I've heard that if I like that, I'm going to like Divergent by Veronica Roth.
I hadn't even read Divergent yet. I went on a bit of a time where I loved those books, and I think everybody loved them back then. Yeah. I got rid of them. Eventually, I gave them to my sister because she really liked them too. So I thought they fared a better home with her, and she read them like a million times. So, but I read them all; they were good.
I mean, it's been out for so long, but I've been at uni and I've missed out on all the reading, so I really, really need to catch up. So yeah, I'm going to read Divergent at some point and basically see what all the fuss is about because so many people have read this book and I need to catch up. As I said earlier, I need to get into Neil Gaiman and I really want to read his books because I've enjoyed everything he's written before. So I bought 3 books by him, so I'm not gonna be bored anyway. The first one was The Ocean at the End of the Lane.
I loved
Which is
that book so much, and it is your reread. It was so good. I really, really did enjoy it.
And this looks really interesting. Yeah, Neil Gaiman's books are always quite adventurous, and you can get into them really easy. They're quite short, as you can see. I mean, how many pages long are they? Really not long at all, like 250.
I still do this. I still look how many pages are in a book before I read it.
That's nothing. I can read that in like 2 days at most. So, I think all the books are around about the same length, as you can see. So yeah, I'll have to give that a read. The next Neil Gaiman book is The Graveyard Book, which I've heard is really interesting.
Another brilliant book. I did really enjoy this. Very wholesome.
Well, yeah, this one looks really interesting. I mean, it's even a medal winner in 2010, so, and it's illustrated apparently, so that should be fun. Don't usually read books with pictures. But yeah.
Don't care anymore, just read whatever I read.
And then the one everybody talks about, other than Stardust, obviously, is Neverwhere. So I've obviously got to read.
I've still never read this. I did try once, and I DNF'd this too. I still have it, and I still want to read it. I just probably wasn't in the mood for it at the time, so still something I need to get to. 6 years later.
It's set in London, under the streets of London, actually, and yeah, like I said, Neil Gaiman's books are really adventurous, so I'm gonna have to read them because I do love his books, and they're so funny. They make me laugh. Now, the next book I want to read is Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Spencer
still have that
Chandler.
book? I think I do. Yes, I still have that book. I did enjoy it actually. It was cute, and I've always wanted to read a book where the reader falls in love with the character, and I think this is the closest it's ever got. Like, the reader is in the book though, so it wasn't me falling in love with the character, which is kind of what I want. But this was still really nice, and I like the idea. So yeah, I did actually quite like this.
And this has been all over YouTube.
I can't believe how well I'm doing.
Talking about it, and I really need to read it. It's not something I would normally read, I don't think, because it's about.
It is something I wouldn't normally read.
Well, basically about people reading. I mean, I can't imagine me reading about myself reading. So I mean, it looks good. Apparently, somebody actually comes out of a book, so I suppose it looks fairy tale-esque. Yeah. So yeah, I'll have to read that and give back my opinion, because I mean, it looks like the kind of like romantic-y type book that I wouldn't normally read. So I'll give it a try and let you know, and if I like it, I'll do the second one. Another one that I've been told is much like Divergent and The Hunger Games is The Maze Runner.
Sorry if that just jumped position. I got a phone call mid-recording, so I had to just answer that quick. Let's continue. Put my earbuds back in.
And I know I'm behind again, and I need to.
We don't promote Maze Runner on this channel. I liked the first one well enough, and then it just got kind of. Yeah, I didn't like the later ones at all, really. And the movies didn't seem to do so well either, so yeah, I got rid of those two. I read them though.
Catch up on my reading, sorry, I've been at university, but yeah, it looks really good, and I know there's a movie on it now, so I'll have to watch that too. But I might do that after I've read it, I'm not sure yet, because I read all the Hunger Games before I watched the movie. So, watched all the movies, and there's the other ones coming out in, this year, end of this year. And this looks really good. They get trapped inside of a maze, and they don't know what's going on, they don't know about their own past. And yeah, it looks so interesting. I'm going to have to read it and obviously get the next books if I like it. And
I was very clearly into dystopia back then. Not as much anymore. Sometimes I like it, like Scythe was really good, but it has to be good dystopia, like really good. So I think Hunger Games and Scythe are probably up there. And Divergent was good, and then Maze Runner kind of plummeted.
Feedback on that when I read it. And the last one I bought this month is The Gospel of Loki, and it was so good. I read it.
Yeah, I did read this. I still have it on my shelves. It's quite a good book. I love Loki. He's one of my favourite Norse gods, Marvel characters, all that. And I've recently watched the Loki series, which was brilliant, and I highly recommend that. So, hey, I'm doing really well in this video. I've read most of these books.
It didn't
or at least
take
had
me
a go.
long. But Loki's my favourite Norse god because obvious reasons. But it's so funny, this book is. It tells you basically everything about what Loki does, but in his perspective. And it's by Joanne M. Harris, and she is a #1 best-selling author.
I'm going to say these things
it's
anymore.
Really good. It goes
Don't
through
tell
all the
people
tales.
if it's a #1
he's
selling
really
author.
devious and
Best-selling
mysterious.
author,
he basically just wants to get his own back on all the gods after they were horrible to him. He's always going through something with the other gods. They don't accept him because he's from chaos and he's a demon. And I just loved it so much. It basically starts with him being born as well. It's quite cool. Being born from chaos, and he's actually basically lightning hits some twigs and he appears, and Odin's waiting for him because they think he summons him. But then nobody accepts him for who he truly is, even though he wants to be part of them. And so that obviously stems on to him hating them and really wanting his revenge, and he gets most of it. And basically, as the book goes on, he gets more revenge on people, and they try and take him. And
I'm still terrible for that.
Fire, that's not going to happen. So yeah, if you like Norse mythology, and if you like Loki, which I do, because I'm a big mythology fan, obviously I took classics and ancient history at university, so I love mythology, even though I didn't go into the Norse. I did Greek and Roman mythology, which I love very much. So it's quite interesting to see something different for once. So yes, thank you for watching my big book haul. And you'll see me again basically after I've read some of them, or if I get some more books, which likely, very, very likely will happen, because I'm literally going crazy right now on books. I'm actually waiting for Lucid as well. I've ordered Lucid, which looks really good as well. I mean,
I don't even know what that is, but I never read it and I don't have it anymore, so maybe we'll see in my next book haul that I react to. I have no idea what that is.
I have not read a book about dreams before, and apparently
still haven't read that book.
The girl in that book comes out of her dream or goes into another dream world, but she prefers to the real world. I can't quite remember, but I will update you on that when I get it, or after I've read it, either way. But it looks so good. Right now,
I'm not good enough for me to read.
I'm so behind. I read Game of Thrones in my second year of uni, I think, very, very slowly. I'm now on A Clash of Kings by George R. R. Martin, and it's really good so far. I'm not that far into it because I've only just picked it up after reading The Gospel of Loki. But yeah, I obviously know most of what happens because of the TV series, but I know there's a hell of a lot more as a huge book. So yeah, I will let you know how I'm getting on at some point soon. Thank you very much for watching this very long book haul, and please subscribe if you enjoy my videos. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Clearly had no idea where I was going on about back then, because that was not a big book haul at all. However, I think I did actually really well. I read most of those books, if not started most of them. The only one that sticks out that I didn't read was that Lucid, and I have no idea what that is. I literally have no clue what that is, so I must have got rid of it because it just wasn't interesting to me anymore. However, I read most of those books and still own most of them, actually, apart from like Divergent and Maze Runner and stuff like that. And wow, I thought this was going to be a video of like all the books I have upstairs on my TBR bookcase, of me going, nope, not read that yet, but that must come a little bit later, so stay tuned for that. where I'm disappointed in myself for not reading my TBR that I've had on my shelf since like this time period of 2015. Because I went on a massive book buying thing because I had loads of money left from uni because I didn't drink much. So I was one of the few people who still had money left when I left uni. Yeah, so that's me reacting to my very first book haul that I did after uni. So stay tuned for more because I'll be happy to record more of these. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It is all really poor quality video because back then I think I just recorded on my laptop or something. Either that or like a phone that wasn't good with picture quality. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to see more of me reacting to my old videos and me not being able to speak very well apparently because I still can't do that. But I'm trying. So see you in my next video. TTFN. Bye bye.